you guys doing okay? I'm gonna try to get this off my chest real quick. I don't know, it might not be real quick, but it's not easy to. I mean, anytime it's an intense emotion, it can be difficult to talk about because it's intense emotions that's going to bring about an intense response in your head, which can trigger different things in your mind. And based on where you're at, it may put you in a place you don't want to be. So it can be difficult for anybody going through anything that involves intense emotions. For me in this situation, because I still don't even know everything that's going on, I gotta be careful because I can make assumptions. I can jump at things that aren't even happening, and I know the mind can wander wherever if you allow it to wander in places that maybe it shouldn't wander. It will wander there and it'll find a place that it feels comfortable in and make itself a home there. And if you're not careful, you don't have the right discernment, you can actually find yourself identifying with that home and becoming that place. If that made sense to you, it made sense. But if not, that's cool. What I really want to just say is, with a particular person, I haven't seen her video or posting in probably, I don't know, a couple months. So I don't know what she's up to. Last time I saw it, she pretty much humiliated me. She chose to share something that was years ago, and I felt like the intent, based on what I observed, it seemed to be like her intent was to humiliate me. So I chose not to stick around for that. I left. And then she proceeded to block me. That happened a few months ago. And then, for people that have been watching, y'all know that almost 2 months ago, my father passed. And I took, when that happened, I stopped, making videos, and I just posted a lot of my writings or just little things. I stopped essentially making videos like this. I'm trying to get back into it. So yeah, but this is like this. So what I'm essentially trying to say is the whole nature of how we've been communicating. I haven't liked for some time, and I've shared this with her, or at least I've shared it online. So I feel like she's heard it. But this is also like just even that. Like, I don't even know if she's heard that. So it's like there's many different reasons why this is not the healthiest way at all to go about developing a healthy relationship. And I've tried to be upfront and as open and like honest and like not even trying to like hate or judge her for choosing to do this, but just to share it as it is and to just also share how it feels to be me in this situation. But to also be aware that I have to be careful because based on how I choose to say and the things that I do, if I don't mention things and bring attention to certain things that are being done, I run the risk of enabling bad behavior, as well as helping perpetuate a situation that isn't very healthy, which is going to help perpetuate my sickness and anybody that's involved in sickness. If you're involved in a sick situation, based on your level of involvement, you're also going to be a part of that sickness. So this is how my mind works. But for some reason I feel, unless I'm fucking batshit crazy, she's the only human being I feel a close, the potential for a deep connection I feel is with her. For whatever reason. So I don't know what else to say. I feel like she's the only human being I've ever felt this about. There's not been any other one at all, even close to where I feel like I can feel what she's feeling. The type of feelings she feels, sometimes I can feel them. I don't know if she's sending them to me. I don't know if I'm just subconsciously fathoming this shit just because I'm fucking going nuts, or if I'm actually picking up on her feelings because of some type of connection that we have, or some type of an ability that allows us to feel each other's. Sometimes I feel like she can feel my feelings too. So I don't know if it goes both ways, but I've seen things that lead to that possibility. So you know did have a lot of friends. I pushed them all of them away, because I didn't feel like they truly cared about me, and I felt like I was treated like shit. Um, and they didn't even show much remorse about it either, which is they don't have to, but it's just like from my position, the way that y'all have done things again is just completely alien to me. Like when I look back and try to think about like the mindset you guys must have been in to do the things that you did, the conclusion that I come to is that there just wasn't much care there, if any at all, to begin with. So, what I'm seeing or thinking or feeling now is that a lot of what I thought was genuine, like friendship and relationship building that I was having with other human beings, for me, that's what it was. But for them, a lot of it was an act. And it was an act with the intent of manipulation, of getting things out of me, of not just extortation or exploitation or extortion, because a lot of them did receive money from me. So that's part of my past with numerous dudes whom I think whom I know she knows some of them, and I think she's even gotten in relations with a lot of these ones. Like three of the most powerful relationships with other dudes, like friendships that I've had with other men, I feel like she's gotten involved with all three of them to different levels. I have still not got a confirmation from any one of them that this has happened. With one of them, I exchanged texts with, and it went extremely bad. And that right there, to me, is evidence that something is going on. Because I don't know why else this dude would act the way he acted unless there was some type of a jaded feeling that he feels. Because, like, when I look at his texts, and I've done this in the past, I've continued to look at his texts from the past, and every time I continue to look at him, sometimes I'll take a whole year off before I go back and look at his texts, just to refresh, just because, like, I'll start thinking about it and I'll be like, was I going batshit? I'll actually do this. I'll think that I'm crazy, and I'm like, did I imagine this? Was I too mean? Did I judge things too harshly? Or I'll start thinking these things, and I'll choose to go in and actually look at the text again. And every time I've continued to go or recontinue to go back and look at the text again, every time I'm met with the same feeling that this is a fucking attack from somebody that's supposed to be my friend. And it feels again like it's attached and somehow connected with the particular person. So that's been going on for years, and it's been extremely frustrating. And then I've had other weird shit going on. I was abandoned, and just a lot of weird shit, dude. And then I met Joshua in New Orleans, who he proclaimed to be the Heavenly Father. He told me I was the Buddha. He had a whole group of friends that I got to befriend in New Orleans. I stayed there for over 50 days. Me and Joshua slept on the streets together. We got really close. And even after that, he ended up getting arrested there. But after that, we maintained our relationship through talking on the phone for years. And we worked on a lot of things. Like, we really theorized and talked and worked on ways to help save the world. We walked the streets in different cities together. We found Little Bear together. Well, he found Little Bear, but we were on the streets at the same time together when we found him, and he brought him back to our camp, and that's how I got Little Bear. How this family got Little Bear was through Josh. And unfortunately, there was a bad falling out with Josh. So, but I've really looked at the way these things have happened with them, because I'm like, I take friendship very seriously, dude. So if I did things that were like wrong or mean or unfriendly or wrong, like evil, I would want to make up for those and change that shit, because I really valued you guys. Like, I don't take this shit lightly. But I'll look back and like, did I do something wrong? But every time I look back, I don't see myself doing something wrong. Not in this instance. Like, I've treated you guys good. The only person I really fucked over in this planet, have been my family. I've stolen from my mother, and even the way I stole from her in a way to where I didn't want her to find out, because I didn't want to hurt her. So when I was taking her pills, I would try to just take just enough pills to where she wouldn't find out. I was very careful about that, and I would try to always sneak it and hide it and make sure she didn't know. I would get crafty with the shit. Anyway. My point being, though, is I wanted to do it like that so she wouldn't find out, so I wouldn't hurt her. That was a very key point in my thievery, is I didn't want people to find out. So that's why it's strange with the way some of my friends have chosen to treat me. It's because, like, they've done things that I think I know they know would would hurt me. Like some of the things they've said and chosen to do are just completely done. There's an intent to hurt me, to harm me, associated with their actions. Whether or not they wanted it to go down like that or not, what they chose to do ended up hurting me. And I think they were well aware of it while they were doing it. So it's been very baffling, man. It's been extremely baffling. And again, a lot of it also has to do with hurt. And I think that they've been largely jealous of me and the connection, or the potential connection that me and her have had. Which just makes it even more batshit crazy because I'm still sitting here fucking, screaming to the fucking phone and, complaining because I'm continuing to be blocked and I'm picking up on all these feelings, and then she's doing weird shit in my channel, but at the same time, I still don't even get to see her. And I think she tried to break me down. This was her intent. I think she wanted me to break down, to cry, to whine out, to completely lose shit of everything. And then at that moment, I feel like she might have came in and then from that point though, it's gonna be like this: you do what the fuck I say, you hit the highway type thing. And that's how you break people down. And then once they're at that broken spot, you can groom them back to the way that you want them to be. And I think she was trying to do that. Because I feel like there's multiple reasons. One of the reasons why I think she was blocking me was because I wasn't working a job. And, so I think she thinks because I'm not working a job, I'm not being a man or some shit like that. So because I'm not being a man and I'm not working a job, she's not going to allow me to see her online. And I also think that's part of it, but I think another part of it is also because she's been talking with not only just my former friends, but I also think some of my family. I think my little brother has been talking some way or another involved with her too. So that's been a whole other huge thing that's affected this family in a very severe way that I think she also had an involvement in. So it's like these are serious things that created very serious problems in my life. And if she didn't have anything to do with it, that's different. But based on what I've seen, I know that my brother had some interactions with her at one point, and I still haven't even gotten to the truth of that situation. That's all I've been looking for. Me too. I'm cool. My friends having feelings for her, my brother. I totally get that. I'm not even hating on that shit because I can't. I understand you can't control. If you're attracted to somebody, you're attracted to them. I'm not. I think it's foolish to get mad at somebody for being attracted to them because, who has control over that? If you're attracted to something, you're attracted to something. Now, how you react to that attraction, that's different. And so, yes, I am disappointed in my former friends and my brother and a particular person, not for the attraction, but for how you guys reacted to the attraction, if that makes sense. And so now we're at this spot where we're at, to where she's now starting to see her life and my life and how it's starting to grow, and where if she continues doing what she's doing, how hers is going to turn out, and if I continue doing what I'm doing, how mine's going to turn out. And even if this project and shit don't work out, at least I'm now on a healthy track. I'm at least growing and moving and through life in a way to where I'm not continually destroying myself every single day. That was bad. That was my life for a very long time, was self-destruction every single day. And so I've moved away from that, and I'm continuing to move away from that. And what I know has helped me move away from that. The Suboxone has been great, but without the good work, I wouldn't have lasted. I would have gone fucking nuts. Because I know what happens when I continue just to take Suboxone and just sit here and do fucking nothing. That's not a cure. But the Suboxone with the good work, those things together, and then also just having dreams of positivity in a family that they could have done more, but them just being here was huge and helpful. Especially with my dad, even though I would have liked him to get a little more involved in my life. I think it would have been good for him too. He was still, like I've said, always just been a very positive figure in my life, just always very positive. And something about him was just very good about just staying positive. And being around that positivity in a time when I was really fucking hurting and I didn't have any friends or didn't know what was going on with that situation, and it really helped out a lot. So I'm incredibly grateful for him. And my mother's always, she went to a couple of AA meetings with me. I'm able to talk to her a little bit easier than on other things, although some things I can't, which is something that we've had to come to an agreement with, because it's a disagreement. I'd like her to go deeper into some things with me, but she doesn't want to. So I have to respect that and stop trying to force her to talk about things that she doesn't want to talk about because she doesn't want to talk about them. So me trying to force her to talk about shit she doesn't want to talk about is bad. So it's not good for me to do that. So I'm gonna stop trying to do that. But that's also that's also enlightened me into some things about who she is and who I am, and to also I now know that there's certain areas that right now I'm not going to be able to relate to my mom with because she's just not ready to go there, and that's okay too. But that's something that I didn't know before that now I do know 100%. It was something I kind of suspected, but it hadn't been completely talked about and identified and concluded, I guess you could say, and that we're both aware now of where we stand in terms of where we're willing to go with our conversations and how deep our relationship's going to be. We now know where our boundaries are. I guess we're getting close. We have clear knowledge of where both of our boundaries are, so that's good. Um, and this is something I still don't even know. I don't know where a particular person stands in regards to this too. Um, so and now I feel like there's a possibility that she could be even trying to like. I mean, I could be crazy, but I feel like she might even be trying to come to Portland right now, if not on the road right this very minute. That's just what my intuition's picking up on. I could be fucking wrong, and I also had somebody a while ago tell me or asked if they wanted to get coffee with me in Portland sometime in August. And I have no idea who it was. I even asked him. I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great, but who is this?" They didn't respond, so I have no idea who it is. Could be somebody else, but the most likely person that comes to my mind is a particular person. So, and then I've been picking up on the possibility of that happening. So it's like now I'm starting to think about the possibility of her driving here to Portland while thinking about everything that's going on, and me now giving a shout out to Casey Michelle and talking about how I don't trust a particular person, and then she's thinking about all these things while she's still trying to drive to me, and it's like, fuck, man, like, god damn it. So the communication. Like, obviously, if I would have known, like, if we had communicated, and it's like, you know, but then again, I start thinking, I'm like, hold on a second, this could be a very good reason, because the way she does shit isn't the most effective at times. Some things she's really great at and good at, and is very knowledgeable and knows how to get shit done. Other things she's not the best at, and she can do things that can have bad consequences, as we all can. And again, I don't think she fully appreciates how much of an impact she's had on my life these past 5 to 6 years. And I'm not blaming her or anything, but it's just it'd be foolish not to appreciate and to really appreciate, to value, to understand the gravity of the situation, and just like the depth and the amount of emotional things and the consequences that have happened from the time, because like all this pushing away, it's escalated. It started when I started talking with her, but it's continued to escalate as the years have progressed, and now it's reached this point where I've been on my own for a long time, and a lot of it has to do with her, but it had to happen. She was just something that helped me see who these people were in my life with a little bit more clarity. So without her, I wouldn't have seen who these people really are. And I might have kept on doing things the same way I've been doing things, which was not in the most wise way. So even though it's been painful, I'm also extremely appreciative that she did what she did and she is who she is, because in that, I'm able to see who other people really are. The truth. Like, if people can't even be honest with each other in the moment, in the right now, you know, um, that says something about their chemistry, their potential bond. And right now, a particular person isn't able to. We don't have that honest, forthcoming, open, transparent communication. Like, that's not existent right now. So if she were to come here and to try to fucking whatever, it would be, she'd be doing so while we're in a state that's not as healthy as it could be, which means that the possibility of it being successful isn't as good as it could be. And I know she likes to go with the flow with things, and she kind of just likes to do shit. And if it works out, great, and go along with that flow, da da da. And I get that, and there is a lot of goodness and even power and wisdom in that tactic. However, can also be reckless. It can also be done in a very impulsive and a very selfish manner, because it's like for her, she's aware of things, but she's not aware of everything. Like this household, there's she's not aware of everything that goes on in this household. So if she's got ideas of how things are going to play out, but she's basing those ideas without fully knowing the whole, the information of everything involved in that idea, that's just, you kind of set yourself up for things not to work out that well. And I kind of get a feeling that that's kind of what's going on. That on top of her not valuing my emotions enough. And it's like just writing me off, like when I say things a year ago, like, yo, the way you've been doing shit ain't fucking all that cool, and you keep on doing it like that, and you just wanting to like just kind of like sweep past that like it's no big deal. Like, no, it is a big fucking deal. And I have been treated like shit by people, and for you to come into my life and then or just want to come right back into my life and to pretend like it's not a big deal is in itself kind of insulting. And like to trying to do it in this premise of like, oh, just kind of just go with that good flow and just kind of just be a good hippie and let's just come together and let the past be the past. And it's like, I get all that, and there is something beautiful about forgiving and just going along with it once the accountability has been taken account for. I'm totally cool with that, as long as we can both acknowledge, and I want to hear too. I totally want to hear from her all the things I did to hurt her and everything that I fucked up in. I want to hear it. I want to take accountability for the shit that I did wrong. I want to. And the same thing with my friends. Like when I do, and I will, when I'm ready, I will reach out to you guys. And if you want to talk, that's your choice. You don't have to. But if you do, I will want the same thing from you guys. I will want you guys to tell me what I did wrong. Just like I want you guys to want to hear what you did wrong to me in the eyes of being a friend. Because I'm a part in this party. And I feel like sometimes you guys don't even want to give me like the foot to stand on or a space to stand on or a voice to speak on. Because you think I'm like less than you guys or some shit, which is really just a very mean way to look at anybody. It's also just a very inhumane, like, strange way to go about dealing with anybody. But I think that has to do with infiltration from malevolent extraterrestrials. I don't think that's a very human approach at all. So what I'm saying is I think that's stuff that they've adopted from elsewhere. And not everybody is... Some humans out here have DNA from other places. So, like, you've heard about the negative. Like, we all may look human, but some of us... we're not all the same. Like, we are what we are. You know what I'm saying? So, like, some of us do have DNA strands and have, like, stuff that came from other parts of the galaxy, as opposed to some people have stuff that came from other parts of the galaxy. So, that's what I'm trying to say. So, fuck, man, like, yeah. Although I'll say this, if people are still watching, a good place, if she were to try to, like, from my perspective, like, right now, something that she could do that could help, grow this thing back in a good, healthy way, would just to let me see her channel and to be forthcoming about it and to continue to let me see her channel. That would be a good thing to do to show that she wants to be open, transparent, and also stably open to me. Not saying she has to be with me or in doing that we are together or anything like that. No, but just to be okay with her being able to see me or me being able to see her no matter what. And that's how I treat her. So that would be fair. So that's all that I'm, again, going back to that fairness, let's just keep it fair. So if you're able to watch me every day, why can't I see you every day? That would be fair. So, alright, love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.